M0FXB, welcome back to my videos on the Ailunce H1, but this will work for many DMR radios. So someone asked me when I'm using my hotspot, so if you've not seen a hotspot before, this is it. They effectively join your radio, your DMR radio or Fusion D-Star to the internet. That's what they're effectively doing. And on the internet, you've got talk groups, rooms, etc. And, on DMR, we use talk group rooms. So the settings that I have put, so if we go to the channel information on the new Ailunce H1, and I'm just going to show you what I've put in there. So look at this one here that says hotspot, okay? So first of all, we name it hotspot. Now you can open this right up here with this little section here. Let's make sure you can just see that section just there. If you click that, it opens it to a bigger window. But I'm going to just show it simplified first. So first thing, put in your name, then the frequency of your hotspot, which we're going to show you on the Pistar system. You have to select digital, okay, power, and then you have to select what they call a contact name. This is when you transmit, it's going to transmit on, I've called it worldwide, but it's actually talk group number 91, and it's a group contact, not a private. A private is an individual or a command. And then where it says M0FXB, that's effectively my DMR ID. So you have to have your DMR ID in there. So if we just go to DMR here, and let's find radio ID at the bottom here, bottom left. So click that and just make sure you've got your DMR ID. And I've named it M0FXB, but the number one thing is you have to register and get yourself a DMR ID number or it just won't work. Okay, so that's number one. We've done the channel information. We've put in the frequency. It's simplex. It's not a repeater. If it was a repeater, then you literally would just change these frequencies for the input and the output of the repeater, and you'll get those details from the repeater keeper. Regarding the contact, which is basically the talk group number, that's deciding what you're going to connect to. A lot of people do use talk group number 9 because that isn't actually a room. This is confusing. It's actually a link between you and the repeater. Yeah, so you can make the repeater, or someone can make the repeater join on number 9, but then what you do, you type in on your radio, manual dial, you put in 91, you transmit, it will take you to 91 using that talk group 9 link. Confusing, but that's the way it works. So even when you've created that channel, to find it, you've got to put it in a zone. So with the H1, you've got zones here. Click zone. You'll always have one zone, and I've renamed my zone. Zone is a group of channels. So you name the zone, okay? Then to the right, it lets you choose on the A and the B band because it's a dual band radio. So on the A, you can choose in that list. One of them's called hotspot, that you called hotspot. You can add that into that zone so that when you get your radio, if we go back to my radio now, I'm going to show you the Pistar side in a minute. When you go to your radio, you can see my little silver hotspot there. And you go menu and down until you see zone. You can see the different zones. I'm selecting hotspot because that's where my, where my hotspot is. Let's move that down. So now let's just have a quick look at Pistar. So the way a hotspot works is that it's controlled by software called Pistar, which was written by a ham, Andy Taylor. So let's have a look. And it works on a browser, so you don't have to download anything to use it, but you do need to know the IP address of it. And I've got mine here. And you can use a thing called like Angry IP to search your Wi-Fi, your Ethernet, to find the Pistar. And there are other search tools, but I always like this one because I remember the name. You download it and it searches all your Wi-Fi. There's loads of advertising, but you'll find one of these called Pistar when it searches. Okay, so that's how that works. You also need to log into Brandmesiter and make sure you set a password. So when you log into your Brandmesiter account, you can set a password. When you're logged in, and Brandmesiter does a lot more, you can actually listen to all the talk groups. But when you're logged in, go to, where is it now? Click your profile, then go to a word called self-care. And here you just move this out of the way. Move that there a minute. So here you type your password and save. So when you're back at Pistar, which looks like this, okay, and you go to the configuration page, if I can get it bigger. So configuration is this bit here. And at first this does feel daunting, but that's, you know, that is the fun of this kind of stuff, is that it makes you very techie. So look, DMR here, and when you scroll up, so you'll see, I'm just making sure you don't miss anything. When you scroll up, look at these tabs. So you slide on DMR. These are pretty much default. Look, simplex, MMDVM. And your hotspot will be selected there, which there's where it says radio modem. That's actually choosing your hotspot, because there's loads of hotspots. But the most common one is this one here that you're seeing, ending GPIO. And yeah, DMR number, call sign, and you know, to get your DMR number, just literally type in DMR number, and you'll go straight to that site. This is where you put your Brandmesiter password. It's so that other people don't use your call sign. That's the main reason. They don't use your call sign, because, you know, we don't want them to, do we? And that's it. And then you can add your Wi-Fi details, all that kind of stuff. And there's a whole, I've made videos configuring this, but the main thing is the frequency. See the frequency, the DMR number. Those are the two main things. Call sign have to match up. You go to dashboard now, you'll see the activity, if there is any. So I know it's like, it is daunting, yeah, especially DMR. DMR, I don't care what anyone says, is really hard. And even when you've got it working, it keeps going wrong, and you keep having problems. And it's all based on an SD card for storage and for remembering. So let's just grab the new H1, look. And I'm going to call, and let's just see. Now look up here, see if it transmits. It's saying up there that I did transmit. Let's just try it a minute. M0, FXB calling for a contact, Mike 0, Fox X-Ray Bravo. Now, someone did come through there, but let's turn on my other one. We've got two. Now, if you've got one hotspot and you've got two radios, like someone's already there. They will both pick up your hotspot as long as they're both on the same channel and the same code plug and all that kind of stuff. Talk group. So, that's any tone. So it sounds like it's busy, but you know, like there's so much to learn with DMR, and it will drive you mad. But if you really want to do it and you want to sort of become one of the knowledgeable DMR gurus, is there such a thing? Then watch this video, give it a go. I've made loads of videos, and so have other people. And I still say today that DMR is easily the most complicated, because you've got to remember the frequency, and that's the input, the output. The color code, hotspots tend to be on number 1, and repeaters, many are on 3. Color code is like a filter, like CT/CSS. The slot, which is which half of the channel you're using. Yeah. The talk group number you're going to transmit on, because there's hundreds of talk groups. And then you've got TGIF, Brandmesiter, Phoenix don't exist, but I think they've got a few new names like Freestar, Free DMR, things like that. So you've got all this stuff. It's just a lot when you're used to, say, a radio where you just put the frequency in, put your repeater in, and then you can hear it. So I get it. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye.